think looking at it, Danielle, in the last episode, you defined reinforcement, and the definition of punishment is not very different. It is the addition or removal of a stimuli after a behavior that reduces the future likelihood of that behavior occurring. So again, it can be positive or negative with the idea that we're adding something or taking something away, but the goal is that it has to reduce the future likelihood of the behavior. Mm-hmm. And that's the key that we miss out on a lot. Like, what was the effect of the behavior? And if we're not actually reducing the behavior, it's not punishment. It's not a punishment procedure. Mm-hmm. But the term punishment is thrown out at it.
Even if it looks like it.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that's kind of the thing. And hopefully if we can give some examples today to better help, the world out there to be able to sort the difference between the things that we hear in like parenting and punishment and discipline versus really here scientifically, this is what is happening or not. Because sometimes we think that we are reinforcing when we're really punishing, and sometimes we're punishing when we're really reinforcing. Is that right?
Yeah.
So let's get started a little bit about punishment and examples.
So I think an idea, like you said, like punishment a lot of times gets mistaken as discipline. Taking discipline out of the table, like the idea of a positive punishment could be eating a piece of fruit that you think is going to be sweet, and you take a bite out of it and it's sour because it's not ripe yet. So I just took a bite out of this peach that I thought was going to be sweet, and it's sour. Well, now tomorrow I'm not going to eat another one of these peaches because that aversive taste was added, that sourness that I didn't like. So now I think the rest of my peaches are going to be sour. I'm not going to eat one. So that, again, has nothing to do with the idea of discipline. It's just the idea that my behavior of eating peaches has reduced.
Yeah.
On the flip side, when we look at the negative reinforcement, we've all been there. Banks, credit cards, everywhere, they'll charge you a late fee, right?
Okay.
So they're adding that fee of you having to pay extra money because you were late on a payment.
Taking your money away.
Yes. Thank you.
We're talking
I
about
have to pay more. I'm paying more because my payment was late. So I'm losing more money. Something's being taken away from me. And so now in the future, I'm not going to make that payment late. My behavior of late payment is going to reduce because I don't want to lose more money.
Yeah.
And those are great, like relatable examples too, for us to really understand that a little bit more.
Or like overdraft,
Yeah. Overdraft
the
fees.
behavior of overdrafting will be reduced if you're charged.
Right.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If it functions as a punisher.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So the same thing that we talked about with reinforcers
Right.
is the same thing applied to punishers?
Yeah. So are we assessing if what we're assuming is a punisher is actually a punisher? Are we looking at if that behavior that we're targeting for decrease is actually decreasing over time? If it's not a punisher.
There's the huge assumption that if you're adding something that you, as the person adding it, think is aversive, that it automatically is punishing. And that is what we're learning with the researcher looking at it is not always the case.
I'm sorry, Julie. I got in an argument with a trainee one time in training class because I said, you could have a client who cusses, okay? So they say the cuss word and you as the teacher or the RBT says, stop saying that. If the behavior increases or continues, I'm going to tell you not to say stop saying that because you're not reducing that behavior. And the trainee was like, then if you're not telling these kids to stop cussing, what are you teaching these kids? And I was like, again, I'm not saying that I don't want the behavior to decrease. I'm saying that if you tell the kid or the person, the adult, stop cussing and it doesn't stop, then that's not effective. So I think I did want to bring that up because it, again, if it's not effective, we shouldn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.